I won the Tony. But there was to be more. In 1968, the network summoned and I became NBC's Julia, the first sitcom about a black character. I had my own television variety show a few years later. It was called, or what else, The Diahann Carroll Show. I appeared in every television special imaginable during the years when such things existed, including one in which Sammy Davis Jr. and I sang together in a tribute to Richard Rodgers that felt like a racial milestone to me. I starred opposite James Earl Jones as a poor Harlem single mother in a movie called Claudine, and played a well-intentioned stepmother in Roots, The Next Generations. I even found my way back to Broadway as a psychiatrist in Agnes of God. And all the while, even when others might have allowed themselves to slow down, I kept touring with my nightclub act, keeping my name out there even long into middle age. Then, in 1985, something surprising happened. Aaron Spelling cast me as Dominique Devereaux, the black bitch on Dynasty. Not bad at all. All of this and much more happened in my first half-century. I mean, I once had armed bodyguards in Havana escorting me to perform after Fidel Castro had taken over the government. So I'd say I packed it in. And for each and every performance, and each and every wedding for that matter, I was always on time, always prepared, and always coiffed and dressed. So that spring night, not long ago in Manhattan, when I was stepping out of my hotel in Central Park South, belonged as much to me as to anyone in the city. My slacks were creamy white and flowing, with flares that were so outrageously wide they flapped as I strode down the steps. I may be a senior, but when it comes to fashion, I try to stay in touch with what's current, as I have done my entire life. Ever since my mother took me shopping at Best & Company department store for versions of European models shown on the runways. And what good were my superb clothes that night without the right shoes? Mine was something. Aubergine leather boots with very high heels, as au courant as they were uncomfortable. And also my downfall, literally. As I negotiated the last steps to the sidewalk and town car that would take me on my way, my pointy-toe boot caught in my voluminous flare, and I tripped and went down to the ground. Brian Pennella, my manager, yelled, "Are you all right?" I told him, of course I am, and I stood up and kept going. Still, it was an unsettling moment. About to turn 70, I, a woman who's been wearing heels her whole life, had unceremoniously gone down in them in public. Did I have to give up high heels or risk more serious falls in years to come? You cannot be a legitimate nightclub performer, as far as I'm concerned, in sensible shoes. To me, high heels have always been symbols of sensuality. It's not just about attracting the opposite sex, although I'm never one to say that isn't important. I just know most women look better in high heels. The posture is better, the line of the leg is enhanced, it's more attractive. Even when I have small dinner parties at home, I prefer to wear my heels. I like the way I feel in them. And when you become a senior citizen, there's great pleasure to be had in the fact that even when the tummy isn't as taut as it used to be, the legs are still shapely and slender. They really are the last things to go, you know. I'm told I look pretty good for my age, with, I am unashamed to admit, a little help from my plastic surgeon. When you get to be 73, and by the way, I never lie about my age, but that doesn't mean you're allowed to ask, either. You know so much more about your life than you did when you're in the thick of things, running the hamster wheel and gathering every damn nut you can. Yes, I'm ambitious, a rampant careerist, who is as dedicated and vain as any performer in the business. I don't know if that will ever change. But I do feel a shift in myself these days. Even as the legs hang on, the memories fade. So it's nice to have a chance here to look back as a wiser...